What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the P4G. This is going to be the finals. So a couple of things. This is a post-com. I normally do not do post-coms on my channel. I'm doing a post-com because I did record it live. However, whenever I originally did the game live, I did it with Bill and Call, and we had a lot of fun with it. It was a really good time. However, I realized I didn't talk strategy the entire game, and for the finals, I feel like I should do that. I didn't talk about my mindset, I didn't talk about my moves, I didn't talk about really much of anything that I feel like I should have talked about, so I'm going to post-comment to give you guys more detail into everything. If you want, though, I will put that game up in an unlisted link down in the description below, so if you want to go look at that, you are more than welcome to. And because of that, I'm also not going to edit this video very much. I'm just going to record it and then put it up. So I'm sorry that I don't have the layout, but that's just how I think it'd be easier for me to get up the live com for the people that want to see live com, or the post com for people who don't really care about live coms. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at Bill's team. He brings Mega Sharpedo, Kyurem Black, Kartana, Chandelure, Clefable, and Reuniclus. First things first, he does not bring Galvantula. That literally screws me over from the very start because I prepped this team heavily around him having Galvantula and him leading it and me trying to prevent webs up, double defog. Like, I prepped hardcore for Galvantula, and for not to be there is very threatening. For him to have his Chandelure being a fire immunity is also pretty big, because if he brought everything else except for Chandelure and maybe brought like Claydol or anything else, he did not have a fire switch in. So that's a little unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world, honestly. Mega Sharpedo is a big wall breaker versus my team. I did prep for that. I did also do a lot of calcs with it. However, I didn't have a switch in. Even if I wanted to have a switch in, nothing on my team could switch into the combination of Ice Fang, Crunch, Waterfall, Psychic Fangs. Nothing could do it. So it was a little frustrating. My biggest hope is that he doesn't have Aqua Jet. That's all I can really hope for, and that I can potentially deal with it that way with Scarf Darmanitan. Kyurem Black, it's a big threat from the start. It's a pretty big threat. Kartana, I'm expecting it to be the Timid set, but I'm expecting it to also be Assault Vest, because it does not have to be Jolly. It does not have to be max attack to do a lot of damage to my team. Even with Timid to gain the speed boosting nature, and with the Assault Vest, it's fat enough to take hidden power fires from things like my Gengar, and that's well, not hidden power fires. It can take like Shadow Balls and things like that. It can take hidden power fires from my Fattermons. It can take air slashes from Togekiss, and it can also speed boost up to outspeed my Scarfers. So I was really expecting that. And then Reuniclus, fat things with like Calm Mind, maybe Iron Defense. I know he brought he brought Acid Armor last time. And then I was also expecting Cosmic Power Clef. That's something that I was also really expecting. But with that being said, why don't we just go ahead and take a look at the game. So I'm going to lead off with my Darmanitan. It has a very good lead against everything on his entire team. If he wants to lead off with Sharpedo, which, spoiler alert, he does lead off with Sharpedo, I can U-turn out on it, get off a massive amount of damage to it. Might be in range of 2 Rocks hits. If he led off with any of his Stealth Rockers, I can U-turn out or I can Flare Blitz it. It just had a really good matchup against everything on his team. Seeing as how he stayed in instantly, I thought, oh crap, he has Aqua Jet, and that really scared me. So I expect him to go for Aqua Jet first turn here, but as you were going to see, he does not go for Aqua Jet, so I go for U-turn. And I did some calcs. I can tank a Waterfall plus an Ice Fang, or a Crunch plus an Ice Fang with my Togekiss. So that's what I'm going to go into. I'm going to go into Togekiss. It tanks everything pretty well, but he makes the first turn prediction of going for Ice Fang, and this instantly puts me on the back foot. My biggest check to a lot of his Mons, or a lot of his Fattermons, is now severely weakened. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch out into my Empoleon. I'm able to take an Ice Fang plus a Crunch. If he goes for 2 Crunches, I'm screwed. If he predicted again, but he didn't. He went for Ice Fang, which is really nice. And now I'm able to get at my Rocks. He doesn't have a Defogger unless he brings Kartana, but if he has the Assault Vest Timid set like I'm expecting him to be, then Rocks are here to stay, and that's really big for Kyurem Black. That's really big for this weakened Sharpedo as well. He goes into his Kyurem Black right before I get my Rocks up, which does suck. However, I do have Roar to where if he wants to try to set up on me. Now, I did expect Sub-Kyurem. I saw it in 3 of my mocks. It does a lot of work for the rest of my team. However, I am also expecting him to be Scarfed with Earth Power, Fusion Bolt, and Draco Meteor for my Mega Medicham. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out here. And then I'm going to go into my designated switch into this thing, which is my Electros. And as you can see, he is Sub. So he's not the Choice Scarf set, and this sucks. Luckily, I do have Dragon Pulse, which does guarantee always break the substitute, and Earth Power does not 2-hit KO me, unless he is like Life Orb, but as you can see, he is in fact Leftovers. So he's going to go for the Earth Power here, and this is going to do about 43%-ish or so, I believe is what the exact damage that it did, and I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse, and I'm going to break the substitute. Now, I do have a pretty big play that I can make here. If I think that he has no investment in speed at all, and he's like a modest nature, I can go into my Togekiss and I can outspeed him. But if he goes for Ice Beam, if he goes for Fusion Bolt, expecting me to switch out, if he goes for anything, I could lose my Togekiss, and that's bad. So I'm going to stay in here, and I'm going to go for another Dragon Pulse to scout out this thing's set, and as you're going to see, he gets the Spadef drop with Earth Power. This is a little unfortunate, and by a little, I mean extremely unfortunate. Just because now I really don't have my Electros at all, no matter what I do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stay in, and I'm just going to sack this thing off. And that Dragon Pulse damage did actually 0, by the way. In case you're wondering, it did literally 0. So because of that, I know that this thing has a lot of bulk. Like, it's either Spadef completely, or it has like a lot of HP. Like, it did literally 0. So my only way of really surefire killing this from this range, or putting it in range to die from rocks, is to go into my Darmanitan and click Flare Blitz. I cannot risk this thing getting any more damage off of my team. I don't have another way of killing it. Gengar's Dazzling Gleam doesn't quite kill it. Bill makes a very good read here, and he goes into a Chandelure, which is in fact Flash Fire. And this is, again, going to put me on the back foot. From the beginning of this game, Bill has had me on the back foot, which is really, really bad for me. So I'm going to make the hard switch out here, and I'm going to go into my Empoleon. And this Empoleon is going to now be in Trick Room because Chandelure, which is kind of sort of crazy. I never would have expected him to bring Trick Room Chandelure. So now that he has Trick Room up, he's going to go for the Flamethrower. This is Flash Fire boosted, and he also gets a crit. And this takes me down to very, very low damage, but luckily I do get off the Scald and I get to take out the Chandelure. Granted, Chandelure wasn't the biggest threat to my team, but in Trick Room it was a little bit harder for me to deal with than anything else. But now my Empoleon is severely weakened, and I can't do pretty much anything with it unless his Sharpedo doesn't have Crunch for whatever reason, which it will. It's a Mega Sharpedo. So he's going to go into his Kyurem here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for everything to catch up. I'm going to stay in here and I'm going to click Roar, because I cannot risk this thing setting up another Sub on me, and I have to hope he does not have Roost. If he has Sub and no Roost, then he'll be severely weakened and he'll die to Rocks upon re-entry, which is really big. However, I do Roar him out and I get in his Clefable. Now, this is also really cool to know because he is Unaware Clefable for my Linoon, which is really cool that Linoon forces prep like Unaware Clefable. But I'm going to stay in here, and I'm just going to click Roar again, hoping that I can drag in the Kyurem Black, because it will be at about 50% again, and that'll be pretty nice because then Darmanitan can kill it. And that's probably the best case scenario, but instead I get the worst case scenario, which is this stupid Kartana. Kartana is a massive threat for my entire team. My only switch into this is my Quillfish. It's the best thing I have for it. So if he goes for like Psycho Cut and crits me, I lose the game. It's just that simple. So what is going to happen here is I'm going to go into my Quillfish, I take Rocks damage, get off the Intimidate, and he's going to go for the Leaf Blade, and as you're going to see, this does much less than 50%. It's closer to around 30 or so. And Trick Room ends. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be able to take another Leaf Blade pretty easily, and I'm going to be able to go for a Hidden Power Fire. Now, this Hidden Power Fire damage tells me he is in fact Assault Vest with a lot of Spadef investment or a lot of HP investment, one of the two. And this Assault Vest Kartana is a pretty big threat because I cannot allow this thing to get up a attack boost on my Quillfish, because then all I have to potentially weaken the Mega Sharpedo's Aqua Jet is my thingy thing. My Quillfish. I don't know what I was trying to say. I need to keep Quillfish alive to be able to weaken that thing's Aqua Jet. So I do go into my Gengar here. I guaranteed outspeed, and I guaranteed kill him with a Shadow Ball. So he's going to pull the hard switch out, and he's going to go into his Clefable. Now, this Clefable, stupid fat, but he does take rock damage. And he is actually guaranteed in range of Sludge Wave from here. However, I go for the Shadow Ball, and I get the Spadef Drop. So this Spadef Drop is pretty big because I don't have to risk him being like Cabuberry or anything like that. But I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball, and I take out the Clefable. Turns out he was Wiki Berry, which is the 50% berry. So if I hadn't gotten that Spadef Drop, I probably would have had to go for Sludge Wave. But here he is going to go into his Kyurem. Now this is a pretty big play. Either he subs or he Earth Powers. I have to play that 50-50, and I bet he's going to go for sub. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Dazzling Gleam. What that'll do is that'll make sure that he is out of range of subbing up, which he goes for Earth Power. I lost the 50-50, and this essentially loses me the game, because now my Gengar is weakened to the point where I cannot switch in on rocks. And that really sucks. If I was able to switch in on rocks, then I'd be able to do some stuff maybe. But I was really hoping he would go for sub there. I was really hoping it. I didn't really have another switch into it. I could have gone into my... I guess what I could have done is I could have gone into my Togekiss, but he's going to go into his Sharpedo now, and all he has to do is click Aqua Jet plus Crunch or Ice Fang, and he cleans up this entire game. Unless I can get the roll with my Darmanitan. This does 77% maximum, so it's in my favor to live this Aqua Jet, because he is jolly. It's in my favor to live this Aqua Jet. All I need to do is live. Come on, Darmanitan. You've been great to me all freaking season. You've been amazing, except for right now. And I lose the game because of that rule. Granted, I also can argue that I lost the game because I made a 50-50 call poorly. Because then that put me in the range of relying on the roll. Another play that I could have done is I could have gone into Quillfish first, forced him out because I think he was in range of dying from rocks. Getting off that Intimidate guaranteed that my Darmanitan lived the Aqua Jet. So I could have done that, but then I would have lost to Reuniclus or Kartana. So me having my Gengar getting weakened by that 50-50 guaranteed that I lost the game, which really stinks. His team was stupid good against mine. It had such a good matchup. But I do lose this game 3-0 to Bill in the finals. It's a little disheartening. It's pretty upsetting, but I'm not salty about it. I lost because of a 50-50 call. There wasn't any hacks. There wasn't much of anything. It was a very clean game, a very fun game, and it was really fun to be in call with Bill and play with him like side by side. So that was a lot of fun. However, I'm not going to say that I'm not upset about it. I'm very upset that I lost in the finals. I would have loved to have the back-to-back championships. However, it is a game. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But I will say that the draft league community for me is getting a bit old. There's a lot of people in it that are toxic that I don't enjoy being around. So I'm probably going to take a step back away from the draft league community as much in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I'm not really sure. Never going to step away from P4G though. I pretty much help run it. But I figured I'll just let you guys know that, so don't expect me to be in 5 leagues at once or 3 leagues at once or anything again. But yeah, for the finals, great game. Congratulations to Bill. You definitely deserved it. Even though he hacks his way to the finals. He definitely deserved this game's win. He definitely deserved it. He played well. And I just got a 50-50 call wrong. Can't get them all right. But I think the biggest thing that I'm going to take away from this season is that I strongly dislike having walls without recovery. Having Rhyperior and Empoleon Quillfish as my main wall core, I didn't really like that. So I'm definitely going to put this knowledge of mine into future seasons. But yeah, it was definitely a fun season. I definitely enjoyed myself. But I think with that, that will be closing out all of P4G Season 2. I hope you all did enjoy. I'm sorry if I let you guys down by not winning the finals. I always strive to make you guys happy and everything like that. But I can't always win, you know? So I'm just happy that I made it to finals again. That's a big accomplishment. Especially in a league where I did take down A-Drive. I did take down Leo. That's a big accomplishment for me. But yeah. With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for supporting. If you do want to support the Maryland Torterrapins even more, I will be leaving a link down in the description below to a t-shirt shop to where you guys can buy a t-shirt if you want to. If you do, make sure to send me a picture of it on Twitter at UnderTheRadarYT. But yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.